What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on the channel, Johnson Skiff Adventures. So today we're going to dive into our next kind of boat project, couple maintenance type issues today. But wanted to catch you up kind of where we left off last time. We had just finished installing that lower unit, the new one we got to replace that old corroded one. Got the oil in there, got everything buttoned up, then had to replace the battery. That was a whole nother issue. Got that all dialed in, and then it still wouldn't start. I was pretty frustrated, bummed, but I stuck with it, and later that evening I was able to get it running, which was awesome. I was stoked. As you maybe saw in that last video, was a big success for me. So got the engine running. It was awesome. Wanted to kind of spend the next video like a little maiden voyage, if you will, take it out on the water and see how she ran. But unfortunately, things changed a little bit. My parents were able to come visit, which was awesome. We had such a good time, and we actually got to take the boat out. I didn't get a bunch of good footage of us kind of taking that maiden voyage, if you will. So soon I'll take you out. We'll get you on the water. You can see how this boat works. It was a blast, though. We had fun. We did have a little hiccup, if you will. So I got it running in that last video, and then a couple days later is when we tried to go out with my parents, and we got to the boat ramp, put her in the water, tried to start, and I couldn't get it started. I wouldn't stand in the middle of this. It's not in the middle of it. Don't stand toward the end. I'd stand in the corner. Should be able to. Doesn't it?
How much do you love your boat right now?
So much.
Well, I guess we can fish from right here.
Yeah, let's get this thing back on the trailer.
Yeah. Well.
Mama! Welcome to boat life with an old boat. It was frustrating for sure, but we tried, let it sit for a while, tried again, couldn't get her running, so we decided just to trailer it, go back home, and kind of just go fishing for the day from the bank. We had fun, didn't catch anything that day, but it was still fun to hang and fish with my pops. And anyway, so then later that day, my dad and I kind of came out and started tinkering with the boat, and we discovered that it's really just a cold start issue with this, which I hear is pretty common with these old Johnson motors. So we figured out kind of what the issue was. We diagnosed some fuel stuff and spark plugs, kind of looking through things, and it's really just a hard cold start. So once we got it running in the yard here, it'll fire back up with ease every time. So we decided that it was really just a cold start issue, and we're going to go out the next day again to launch the boat and go fishing and have a good time. So next day came, we decided to try to start it here at the house first before going through the trouble of going down to the boat ramp. And so we got it running eventually. It did take us a good 45 minutes to get that cold start to happen again. So I'm going to keep kind of diagnosing that and seeing how I can make that an easier process. Look at that vibrating. That's that little plastic piece. That's not annoying, huh?
Nope, not at all.
And today, my plan is to tackle the fuel water separator. Looks like it hasn't been changed in a while. Going to take that apart and get that replaced, get the parts we need. And then also, I have some new anodes that came in the mail. Wait till you see these old ones that are on this engine. Pretty gnarly. The old owner actually painted over the the main anode on the bottom of the engine mount. It's pretty deteriorated already too, and it's painted over, so it's not even doing its job. So I'm gonna get that replaced and swapped out just for future preventative maintenance on that. So we'll tackle the fuel water separator. We'll tackle the anodes, and hopefully either in this video or the next one, we'll get that power steering flush and refill to kind of get up on that maintenance as well. But overall report, the boat did great out on the water. We had a good time. We fished a couple spots, cruised around. Every time we'd park it, the boat would fire right back up, which was awesome. Um, so it runs great after you get it started and warmed up. The engine works really well. So it's just working on that cold start issue with this old motor um, as we move forward. So my dad was able to catch a fish, even though it was so cold out. The weather has been really bad for fishing. The cold water has pushed a lot of the fish out up further into warmer water, and um, but he got into a sheep's head, which was fun. I was stoked he was able to catch a fish while he was here. I have a picture of that here, and also another video of him um, almost catching another fish, but ended up actually breaking his rod in the process. So enjoy that. Oh, we thought it was a fish, but and he snaps his rod. Did it break? Sweet. Wait, here, don't move that. That gets pretty deep. Check this out, little retrieval, baby. Sounded like it broke. It did. I mean, it did sound like that. Is it good? It's good to go. Nope, it's definitely snapped. Anyway, so let's go ahead and dive into it. I'll get you flipped around here, and we will get going on this new fuel water separator issue, and then tackle those anodes. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Let's get to it. All right, well, hopefully this camera angle is all right for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get this removed, and I have a little glass jar too. I'm going to pour it out just to kind of see what that fuel looks like, see what it's looking like in there, and get this replaced just as a preventative maintenance type thing. And then that other fuel filter should be here in the mail in the next couple days. So we'll get that done as well. So let me go grab some rags real quick so I can catch some fuel here if it starts leaking. Be right back. All right, so I got some shop rags in there. Gonna go ahead and get this off here and see what she looks like. Definitely some pressure in there. All right, got that off. Spilled a lot of fuel. Um, looks like it's still leaking out of that hose. Let me disconnect this and stop that from leaking, hopefully. All right. Let's see what's going on here. All right, I disconnected the fuel line from the gas tank. Guess I should have done that first. It was just pouring out of the gas tank. So let me get this gas cleaned up and we'll be right back. All right, well, we're back. I got that gas all cleaned up. Note to self, make sure you remove the fuel line from the gas tank before you remove the fuel water separator. Another chance for you to learn from my mistakes. But we got it all cleaned up. It's all good. I'm going to spin you around on the tripod here and pour this gas from the fuel water separator into this container and see what this gas looks like. It should be good gas, but you never know what's going on in there. So let's check it out. All right, so we got our glass container here. We got our old fuel water separator. I'm just going to pour this in here and we'll see what this fuel looks like. Let that drain out a little bit. Definitely some debris in there. Definitely some debris in the gas. Let's give that a second to settle to see if there was any water separation there. But I don't know if you can see. Let's see if I can get you a closer up view in here. You can see there's some sediment in there, some debris in the gas for sure. So not sure when that was replaced last, but we're going to go ahead and get it replaced today so we can just know that our gas is getting the best treatment it can come in into our motor. So I'm going to let this sit just a little bit and then I'll tune back in to see if we have any separation going on here with some water at all. Stay tuned. All right, put you in the shade here so we can see this. I'm not really seeing any separation or any water, which is good, but there is a ton of just dirt and junk that was in there. So happy to be replacing this with a new one. Yeah, gonna go cruise to West Marine, pick up a new a new fuel water separator, and then come back, get that swapped in there, and get those anodes on as well, so you can see what those are looking like. So off to West Marine. Be right back. So I'm off to get that, but I was remembering as I got in my truck having this issue where it starts fine, it runs great, but when you go at a stop sign or stoplight, every now and then when you come back down to an idle, it'll kind of hesitate and kind of struggle, almost wants to lose power. And then yesterday it actually died completely at a stoplight, um, having that same issue. And it doesn't happen all the time, just kind of randomly it seems like. So I did a little research and it sounds like maybe it could be the throttle body needs to come off of there and clean it out. But if anyone out there has a tip or knows maybe what could be doing that, shoot me a comment. Let me know, because I am not a mechanic, in case you haven't learned that yet. Just kind of learning things as I go. So any help would be much appreciated. I think that's what I'm going to try and do eventually one of these days, is take off that throttle body and clean it out real good and see if that's the issue possibly. From what I could read about, seems like that might be the issue. So we'll go from there and see what happens, but stay tuned. I'll let you know how that turns out. All right, well, we just got back from West Marine and I got a new fuel water separator, and they didn't have, well, let me show you here. So this is what we were dealing with before. I'll flip you around here. This is the old one that the previous owner had painted all over, of course, what the name is and part number and all that, which is pretty frustrating. But I was able, in the right sunlight, to find under this paint, you can barely make out what the part number is. and it's actually a part that replaces this Sierra 1878-45. So they had this one, I grabbed it. It's a little taller, but it should be able to fit right on there. So let's get you set up down there and get this back on there and see if we can't be done with this piece. All right, so I got this one opened up. We're gonna get it secured in here. Luckily, it's very accessible on this boat, so it's not too big of an issue for getting it replaced when it's needed. All right, that should be good. I'm gonna get the fuel lines hooked back up. I do want to try to run some fuel through that just to make sure everything's working. It was a little different style on top. There's like an extra seal on the old one. This extra seal around the outside. On the old one, I don't think it matters because it's really only connecting on that front seal, but just want to run some fuel through it, make sure it's all good, so hang tight. All right, so we're gonna work on getting this old anode off. I'll show you what it looks like here in a second after we get it off. It's pretty bad. Hopefully nothing is too corroded in there for this to come off. What the? Where are? All right, we got it. Let me take you up top here and show you kind of the difference. All right, so pretty corroded, and it looks like it was painted over, but I don't know, that could just be the the corrosion that's on there, but pretty worn down as opposed to the new one. Let me get it out of the bag here. Looks like this. Intact, and these are meant to corrode, obviously, that's the whole point. But this one, it seems like it was painted over when the engine was painted over, and not good. That's not what we want to see. I wanted to check under here to see if what this looked like. Looks like I could use a little sandpaper and clean up those mounts a little bit just so we get a real good connection. So I'm gonna go grab some sandpaper and we'll be back. All right, I got some 80 grit sandpaper. Just gonna clean up. There is some paint, it looks like, under there a little bit. Just make sure that surface is nice and ready to adhere to that new anode. Here. Good. Not on. I think we got it. All right, so we're gonna put this new one on here. Pretty simple job, really. Just need to make sure it gets nice and cleaned up like we did. Just kind of get that one on there. A little hand tight. Yeah. All right, first new anode is on. Much better. So the other anode I have is this little guy, and he goes on the actual engine. So I'm gonna pop this cowl in and show you where that goes. I haven't seen this one internally to know if it's really bad, but when when I ordered the other one, I figured I would just order this one as well. The new lower unit came with this anode, which was in really good shape. It was a freshwater only unit, the lower unit, so looks like they either replaced that recently or it just is still good to go. So didn't mess with that one. But there is that one that I showed you, goes right behind here. So I'm gonna get that opened up and then we'll get going. So let me get you on a tripod and get the right tool and we'll be good. All right, so in here on this exhaust manifold, under this cover, this is where that other anode lives. So let's go ahead and get this taken off. This cover might be tough to get off here. I didn't order a new gasket for this, so I don't really want to pry too hard, but might have to get a screwdriver and try to get this to move a little bit. So give me a second, I'll be right back. All right, so I was able to tap it with a little rubber mallet just right here and got it loose. Yeah, and check out that anode in there. That's pretty bad. So there's supposed to be a bolt in here. Looks like it might be recessed in there or something, so I'm gonna try to get that cleaned up a little bit so I can see what's going on and then get that new one on there hopefully. So stay tuned. So I'm just trying to scrape. You can kind of see the bolt that's there that I need to get to. I'm just kind of scraping away here, trying to access that bolt so I can see if this will come apart. I'll check back in if I get progress here where I can do something with this. All right, so I've been hacking away at this for like probably 15 minutes trying to get this nut exposed, this bolt exposed. I got a little bit of it exposed. I'm gonna try to throw some vice grips on there or pliers and see if I can't get it to budge. I'm afraid that it's probably gonna break that bolt, but I'm hoping not. The bolt I can source for sure. This cover piece, if I could, I'd just buy a new one, but everywhere I've checked, they don't sell these. So I'm gonna keep working on this. I'll let you know if I can get it off there. All right, well, we're gonna hit it with a little PB blaster, see if we can't get some penetrating oil to get down in there and do the trick. Turn away from the boat here so I don't spray anything I don't want to. Let this kind of soak in a little bit. See if I can't get that bolt to come loose. Check back in a little bit. All right, this is what we're currently looking at. Sprayed it again with some of the PB blaster. Try to get some movement here, and I used a little hacksaw to kind of cut away a little more. Gonna hit it with the impact drill. Little cobalt impact. See if we get any movement. And it just broke off. All right, well, back to the drawing board. All right, so I hit it with some more of the penetrating grease and WD-40. After breaking that bolt head off, a little discouraged, but I got some channel locks and it looks like I'm getting some movement now, which is good. Looks like this might actually come out now. Fingers crossed. We got it. Check it out. So I'm gonna have to find a new one of these bolts here. And I got the anode. Clean this up. Probably order a new gasket. And we should be good to go. I'm stoked that was able to come out. That was probably about an hour hour of working on that, maybe a little more even. The sun's going down now. So I'm going to pack up my stuff and call it a day for now. All right, well, as it seems to be a pattern here now, one step forward, two steps backwards sometimes. So, but we're still making progress. So gonna get those new little things ordered, a new bolt and a new gasket for that, get that all buttoned back up so it'll be even better than it was. So I'm still happy about that, getting that bolt out even after I broke it. I was a little worried that it was going to get stuck in there and have to try to find a replacement cover there, which looks like, from what I looked at earlier, you can't get it. So, but I think it was a success at the end. So we got that part off. We'll get that ordered and put back on there. For now, I'm going to pack up and clean up.